Across this great nation, there is a culture of people who carry on a heritage. They have an intangible quality that can't be described, but it comes from deep within their hearts. They share an appreciation for the greatest things that come from Mother Earth. They watch over, understand, and care for the vast wilds of this great country. Fishing, hunting, and trapping are the foundations that Canada was built on. For over 2 centuries, we have taken to the woods and water to pursue wild game. Today, it's about conservation, preservation, and wildlife management. Whether you are a man or woman, fish or hunt, you should support sound wildlife management and proudly say, I am an angler and hunter. The Ontario Federation of Anglers and Hunters proudly presents Angler and Hunter Television. Brought to you by Canadian Tire, a proud partner of Angler and Hunter Television. Mercury Marine and Lund Boats. Yamaha ATVs. Browning Ammunition. Browning Firearms. Suffolk's Fishing Line. Rapala. Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools. Excalibur Crossbows. And Yukon Gear.
The spring is quickly becoming my favorite time of year. No, not because fishing seasons are opening. Nor is it because turkey season is open. For me, nothing is more exciting than getting into the woods and sitting in a stand on a black bear hunt.
A bear coming in. About 50 yards to my left. Bear hunting's awesome.
My annual trips to Thunder Bay to bear hunt with Glenn and Debbie Rivard have been exceptional, mostly due to all the hard work they put into baiting and the upkeep of their camp. That being said, with such an abundance of bears in the area, it's also a great opportunity for someone to experience their first bear hunt, which is exactly what this episode is all about, first-timers.
Any big game hunt would have interested me, but this is the opportunity that was given to me, and I took it.
First thing I want you to do is work the lever and chamber a shell.
We're going to use a Browning 308 rifle, and Glenn Rivard's going to help me and talk me through my first hunt.
Now, Glenn spent a little extra time with Robyn, as she is competent with her Browning lever 308.
That recoil didn't hurt you?
Not at all.
No, that's why we chose this gun.
But having never encountered a bear at close range, he wanted to make sure she would be ready and safe in any situation.
If we get a bear on this hunt, I definitely plan on enjoying the meat.
Normally, I bring along a trusty Excalibur crossbow for my hunts with the Rivards. But this time, I'm going to try my hand at harvesting a bear for the first time with a compound bow.
So for the past 5 or 6 years, you've seen me use Excalibur crossbow, and I swear by them. They're a big supporter of the show and the organization, but recently they've combined with Bowtech to become one company, and I'm actually going to get back into shooting a compound bow. It's probably been 8 years since I've hunted with one, and up here in Thunder Bay at the Rivard Camp, I've been fortunate enough to harvest some pretty incredible bears with my Excalibur, so I'm going to challenge myself this year and get out in one of those tree stands and try and take one with this Bowtech Reign 7. It's a really nice light bow, smooth shooting, easy to draw, and we'll see how I can hit at 20 yards here. I'm aiming at the top right circle. Looks good. I'm probably a couple inches off the middle there, so with any luck, one of these nights here, I'm gonna make it rain.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television brought to you by Yamaha ATVs.
When you're black bear hunting, it's important to know if there's any cubs around with an adult sow. Baiting bears gives hunters the opportunity to really know exactly what kind of bear they're looking at and provide a clean shot.
You do hear of people bringing wolves into their bait sites and saying, I don't get bears, I get wolves. They're not baiting with what we're baiting with. And in
Glenn Rivard has been baiting bears for a very long time and knows exactly what works.
we bait in the middle of the day so that we're not even here in the evening baiting right before we want to hunt. Give them a healthy dose of the day olds. We want to let the area settle down. We're going to bait every day while we're here hunting on this trip, and I'm pretty sure that barrel's going to be empty every day. Bear will knock that down like nothing. When that's down like it was, and the barrel's cleaned out, we know for sure we got hit by bears, not something else. The small animals won't knock that down.
Robyn's going to be hunting with Glenn in a tree stand over this bait, and will be learning from Glenn exactly what to do when a bear or bears come in.
So then, use deep frying oil. These two trees almost line up with us, but if he's snarfing around here, his head is there, but his body's out there. He's less likely to see you moving, but you'll have a good shot. We feed a lot more bears than we shoot. There's no doubt about that.
With Robyn and Glenn hunting a few kilometers away, I had a tree stand all to myself over a very active bait.
Here we go. Just a little guy. That's a 2-year-old. Just left its mom this spring, and he's on his own. Get out of here. He's not afraid of me at all, which is the first time I've ever seen a bear in the wild, you know, not run at the first sign of a human coming in. It's really odd. He's a brave little guy. He's gonna get into my bait. I mean, it looks like this bait's being hit pretty hard, but as you can see, look at that, I just coughed and he's not even scared. I mean, my allergies are bugging me. I'm probably making a lot more noise than I ever would, but it doesn't seem to matter. You little bugger. It's a toasted coconut, that's my favorite. He's kind of got the run of the place from what I can tell. So unless something happens in the next half an hour or so here, I think I'm going to pack up my gear. I'm going to pack up the gear, move all my stuff, go do another stand. This guy just running the place, it's great. I guess we can watch him eat, right? It's always entertaining. What? That's my donut. Hey, that's my donut. I think I'm gonna have to move stands. I mean, it's Robyn is in a really good stand with Glenn, where I took a great big bear a few years ago. There's a bear coming to the right. We're not gonna shoot. It's a mother with cubs.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television brought to you by Minn Kota and Humminbird.
Thunder Bay certainly lives up to its name, especially in the spring. The weather can change drastically from day to day or even hour to hour. With storms and higher winds in the forecast, we decided to switch things up a little bit. As we were setting up the baits on our second day, Robyn and Glenn spotted a bigger bear on the way into a stand.
There's a bear.
You there?
See him walking away?
Is that a big
Yeah.
bear?
There was a decent bear on the bait. I saw him back in the trees there, just slowly moving away. That's a bear that for sure will return.
As it crept away, Glenn knew it wouldn't be long before that bear came back. So they set up in a ground blind, nearly 20 yards from the bait.
So this is a bear marking this. It's a dominant bear. He stood on his hind legs. A lot of times they rake it, but this time I can see he bit it. So his head was up that high. It's a challenge that he's making to other bears. This is always only done by a dominant bear. He says, I'm this big. How big are you?
That's extremely cool.
I moved to a stand that I had hunted in previous years and was more protected from the winds.
Okay, so I got donuts, some grain, and there's a little bit of aftermath in there still. This bait wasn't totally cleaned out, but it has been getting hit hard. So with any luck, I'll get up in that tree and take a bear here. But before I do that, I'm just going to put the finishing touches on. What I like to do with this is, you've seen me use it in the past, but what I like to do is I'll pour it around the top of the barrel, and then just on the inside, it's kind of like a cough syrup texture, but my God, the ripe smells so good. And the trick is, don't use a lot, but if you use it right, it'll run down and drip, and in about 15 minutes this place is going to be smelling like a sweet berry jello factory or something. So we'll get this set up, I'll cover the bait back up, get out of here, and in a couple hours I'm going to come in and try my luck. For the most part, I'm pretty confident on this spot because this barrel's been getting cleaned out entirely. And I think for what I need to do here, moving to this stand is a good strategy, so we're going to find out real soon. Here we go, coming into the right. Okay, I got a bear coming into my right. Actually, that's not a bad bear. Not a bad bear at all. I'm really looking forward to drawing back this Bowtech and launching an arrow, so we'll see 20 yards here. It's a little farther than the other stand, so sit tight. What a hit. Wow. Reign 7 Bowtech. Incredible. I knocked that bear over. I just can't believe it. You know, like I said, I've taken some giant bears out of this place, but I'm not after a giant bear. They're hard to manage. You do get a lot of meat off them, but you know, this is probably a mature, I don't know, 4 or 5 year old bear, and a 200-pound class bear. Perfect. And that arrow, 100 grain, slung out of this Reign 7, knocked that bear over. I'm so excited. I'm not going to follow a blood trail because I heard that bear right here moaning. Here he is. There's my boy. Wow. Beautiful. And I'll get that tag. There. And now he's legal. Wow. So happy. Not a giant bear, but a beautiful bear nonetheless.
After tagging my bear and taking a moment, it felt surreal that I was able to harvest my very first bear with a compound bow out of the exact stand I took my very first spring bear just a few years ago.
When opportunities present themselves and you're in a tree and everything's going right, take advantage of it.
Now I hoped Robyn could experience the same thing.
Bear, there's a bear coming from the left there. See him? He's an adult. He's a young adult.
This portion of Angler and Hunter Television brought to you by Browning Ammunition.
To get the edge over the bear, I used Bowtech's Reign 7 compound bow loaded with a 100 grain fixed blade broadhead. Yukon Gear's Scent Factor Camo had me comfortable and scent free in the hot, windy weather. Rack Stacker's It Takes Guts attractant had the bear's noses fooled. Robyn used a Browning BLR 308 caliber rifle with a 168 grain Browning BXC cartridge. Yamaha's Wolverine side-by-side made getting in and out of the woods simple. And a Camillus knife made for easy field dressing in preparation of our bears.
Bear, there's a bear coming from the left there. See him? He's not a very big one. He's an adult. He's a young adult. It's a legal animal. What do you think? Yeah, that's all right.
Do you think I should shoot him?
Well, ultimately it's up to you. But it's legal. It's a young adult, but it's not a very big bear. I think we can do better.
I'll wait.
Yeah? Okay. Have you ever been that close to a live bear?
Never.
Well, he's walking off there now. That's a shooter. That's a shooter. But wait and see. See what it does. You knew that was a shooter, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Robyn, cock the hammer now. Get ready. Bring the gun right up. You take the shot when you're ready.
Did I get him?
Oh yeah.
I did.
Oh yeah, you got him, bud. You got him. Come on, stay with me, stay with me. There he is, there he is. There's your bear.
Wow.
That's a beauty. Look at that. Look at the coat on him.
How much do you think he weighs?
That's a big bear. That's 250 at least.
Oh my God.
All right, first thing we gotta do, Robyn, put the tag on him. You get fill your first tag. And the bear is legally tagged.
Not only is this Robyn's first spring black bear, but it's also her first big game animal. And from what I can see, it won't be her last.
That was awesome.
Closed captioning of Angler and Hunter Television is brought to you in part by Ontario Out of Doors Magazine. Angler and Hunter Television has been brought to you by Canadian Tire, Mercury Marine and Lund Boats, Yamaha ATVs, Browning Ammunition, Browning Firearms, Suffolk's Fishing Line, Rapala, Camillus Knives and Cuda Tools, Excalibur Crossbows, and Yukon Gear. For more information on the products used in this episode of Angler and Hunter Television, visit ahtv.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Remember, conserve and protect our great outdoors.